Hello, in this video, I will discuss about ethical theories. So, I will discuss the different ethical theories. You will be able to explain the core principles of deontological and utilitarian ethics, analyze how each theory guides moral decision making, compare the contrast, their strength and limitations, recognize the role of virtue ethics in ethical reasoning. So, the question now here is, have you ever come to a point in your life or experience to be in a social dilemma and you ask yourself, what is the right thing to do now? What should I do? What are you going to do? Or what will I do? What is right and what is wrong? So, that's an example of ethical question where most people experience this situation or moral dilemma, choosing what is right and what is wrong. So in this subject, it will help you guide you in making decision. So ethics is the branch of philosophy that helps us answer one of life's most important questions: what is right or what is the right thing to do? So through this subject, it it will guide you. But first, I will discuss what is the definition of ethics. Ethics is systematic approach to understanding, analyzing, and distinguishing matters of right and wrong, good and bad, and admirable and deplorable as they relate to the well-being of and the right relationships among sentient beings. So when we say deplorable, miserable, or bad, and when we say sentient beings, you know how to perceive and how to feel it. That how to feel the situation. So that's sentient, the meaning of sentient. So in ethics, you will be able to learn how to understand or analyze and distinguish what is right and what is wrong. So what are your guidelines in order to choose and to make decision? You'll be able to judge what is right and what is wrong, what is good and bad, admirable and deplorable. So those are the guidelines that will help you and guide you. Like our topic today about ethical theories. And in ethics, we will also learn how to identify and the types of ethical inquiry that you are going to use. So before making a decision, you have to identify the problem or the moral dilemma. So there are different inquiries that you can use. There are three. So types of ethical inquiry. First is normative ethics, is focused on the creation of theories that provide general moral rules governing our behavior, such as utilitarianism or Kantian ethics. So it means uh, you are going to, if you're using normative inquiry, you create theories. So, ang tawag dyan ay normative ethics. Normative ethics. And if you are going to put that in a football play, it means you are the referee. That is the first type of inquiry. Another one is called meta ethics. Meta ethics is the study of how we engage in ethics. Thus, the meta ethicist has a role more similar to a football commentator rather than to a referee or player. So, for example, you are there or you are identifying the problem and you are just there to comment. Okay, so what can you comment? What can you define? What are you going to define for that situation? So, ang tawag doon ay meta-ethics. And the third one is called applied ethics. So, if in the meta-ethics, you are like a commentator, how about here in applied ethics? So, applied ethics is the study of how we should act in specific areas of our lives, how we should deal with issues like meat eating, euthanasia, or stealing. To use the football analogy, the applied ethicist kicks the philosophical football around us as a footballer kicks the ball on the field. So, you are like the player. So, yung euthanasia na tinatawag dito is an example of mercy killing. So, we already know what is mercy killing. If your loved one, for example, the loved ones is in the hospital, excuse me, uh, and loved ones is in the situation wherein he's already, he's just his life is being extended because of the life support. But if you continue to do that, will continue to suffer. So what are you going to do? And they are using the mercy killing. So we call that euthanasia. Okay. So why we need to study? So after that, the inquiry, different types of inquiry or types of ethical inquiry. Uh, uh, how are you going to what are you going to do now in order to make a decision? These are also the different ethical theories that you can use to decide what is right and what is wrong. So this will guide you. The first one is deontological ethics, doing the right thing no matter the outcome. So deontological ethics, also known as duty-based ethics, is built around the idea that actions are morally right if they follow a set of rules or duties regardless of the consequences. So it means the ontological theory is focused on following rules. Whatever is the outcome, as long as he follow the rules, whatever is the result, the consequence, as long as he follow the rules. So you base your decision from a rule, from the law, or principle. Is like following the principle, for example, of being honest. So whatever people will say, I will choose to be honest, even though no one is honest. So you are following the rule or the principle that I will be honest, even others are not. Okay, number two theory, we call that the utilitarian ethics. Utilitarian ethics, choosing the outcome that helps the most people. Utilitarianism takes a different approach by focusing on the results of action, also known as consequentialism. This theory says that an action is morally right if it produces the greatest good for the greatest number of people. It means the basis in making decision what is right and what is wrong, or identifying what is right and what is wrong, is based on the majority who will benefit. For example, you're going to choose the two will benefit this one versus the 10. So you're going to choose the decision that will benefit majority rather than minority. So that is called utilitarian theory. And the third one is called the virtue ethics. So virtue ethics is becoming a good person. Virtue ethics offers a different perspective. Instead of focusing on rules or results. This theory is about who you are as a person. So it does not base his decision, what is right and what is wrong, through a rule or a principle, and does not also base on who will benefit, majority or minority, but it focuses on self, about his character, the honesty, being honest in that situation. So you're going to project. So what would, the question is not what would I do, but the question is, what would a good person do? Ano yung makikita sa akin? May papakita ba dito na mabuti akong tao o hindi? So, doon nakabase. Yung tinatawag na virtue ethics. So, you're going to summarize this one. I will show you in a diagram like this. So, theory, There are the three theories: deontology, utilitarianism, and virtue ethics. So the focus of deontology, duties and rules. They follow rules, whatever happens, whatever is the outcome. The key question they're going to use is the action inherently right? And the strength promotes consistency and rights. It means no matter what happened, you choose the rule. So may paninindigan. But here's the weakness. Can be rigid, rule, conflict. Parang ang hirap naman. So yan. Ang mangyayari, kagaya yung nangyari ngayon sa DSWD, between the DSWD and Pastor Ferguson. So immediately, too rigid, di ba? So parang grabe naman, walang due process. Pwede mo masabi yun. Because that is deontology, an example. Another one, utilitarianism, consequences. Will it lead to the best outcome? That's a key question. Strength maximizes collective good. So weaknesses, outcome is hard to predict because it is based on majority. What will happen if you're going to choose that? And then the third one is virtue ethics, focuses on moral character. And the question is, what would a person or what would a good person do if you're in that situation? So you are focusing on your character. And the strength of this is focuses on personal growth. Growth. It means lalago ka, you will develop your character. And a weakness is vague guidance in specific situations. So there is no fixed guide or rule in order to use that. So yun yung yung weakness. So those are the three uh, theories, ethical theories that you can use when you are in a moral dilemma. So the activity that we're going to use is to identify whether you are using a moral dilemma or not. But first, I will help you and teach you how are you going to use those three ethical theories, because you cannot say I'll just use the ontological theory. But here, in summary, when are you going to use those theory? So use the ontology when you must follow a rule, law, or protect a right. So whenever you choose a role or a law, you're protecting someone or your right, then you use the ontology. You base your decision on a law. You're protecting your right. Okay, you follow the rule, or protecting the right of others. So you follow the rule. So you use deontology. So when to use utilitarianism, it says here choose utilitarianism when the goal is to maximize benefit and minimize harm for as many people as possible. So it means you wanted to use the utilitarianism because if you choose the minority, a lot of them will be in danger. So you minimize the harm. That's why you choose the uh, majority. Another is virtue ethics. Lean on virtue ethics when you're concerned with what kind of person you're becoming and what values you want to embody. So those will guide you when to use the three: the ontological, utilitarian, and virtue ethics. So for the activity, I will be giving you 5 questions. I will just verbally show the problem, but I will repeat 2 times. So just identify. So the instruction is identify what kind of theories or ethical theory does a person shows or use in the following situation. Identify what kind of ethical theories the victim or the person use in the following problem. The first problem is this one about doctor. Okay, number 1. Identify whether deontological, utilitarian, and virtue ethics. Ulitin ko, Ang makikita na sagot mo ay deontological, utilitarian, or virtue ethics. If you write other than these choices, your answer will be wrong. So, here's the first uh, problem. Number one, a doctor refuses to lie on a medical report even though doing so would help a patient avoid high medical bills. The doctor follows the rule of honesty and professional ethics, regardless of the consequences for the patient. The action lying is considered wrong in itself. Ulitin ko, a doctor refuses to lie on a medical report even though doing so would help a patient avoid high medical bills. The doctor follows the rule of honesty and professional ethics regardless of the consequences for the patient. The action lying is considered wrong in itself. So your answer may be deontological, utilitarian, and virtue ethics. Okay, that's number one. Number two, a student sees a classmate cheating, but instead of reporting them immediately, they first talk to the classmate to understand and encourage honesty and responsibility. So the student acts out of compassion, integrity, and wisdom, focusing on developing good character and helping others grow morally, not just on rules or results. Again, a student sees a classmate cheating, but instead of reporting them immediately, they first talk to the classmate to understand and encourage honesty and responsibility. The student acts out of compassion, integrity, and wisdom, focusing on developing good character and helping others grow morally, not just on roles or results. That's number two. So, deontological, utilitarian, or virtue ethics. Number three, a government allocates limited vaccines for first to healthcare workers and the elderly to save the most lives rather than distributing them equally. The decision is based on achieving the best overall outcome, saving the most lives, even if some groups have to wait longer. A government allocates limited vaccines first to healthcare workers and the elderly to save the most lives rather than distributing them equally. The decision is based on achieving the best overall outcome, saving the most lives even if some groups have to wait longer. That's number three. So your answer may be deontological, utilitarian, or virtue ethics. Okay, so that's number three. Number four. Number four situation. A doctor has a terminally ill patient who is in extreme pain. The patient begs to be euthanized. A doctor would refuse to perform euthanasia even if it ends suffering. The act of killing is inherently wrong regardless of the consequences. So their moral duty is to preserve life. Rightness or wrongness of actions depends on rules or duties, not outcomes. So what kind of ethical theory? Ulitin ko, a doctor has a terminally ill patient who is in extreme pain. The patient begs to be euthanized. So the doctor refused to perform euthanasia even if it ends suffering. The act of killing is inherently wrong regardless of the consequences. Their moral duty is to preserve life. So what kind of uh, ethical theory? Deontological, utilitarian, or virtue ethics? Number five, theory, a trolley is heading toward five people tied to the tracks. You can pull a lever to switch the trolley onto another track where only one person is tied. So you are on the trolley, the you're going to pull it. So that pull the lever, sacrificing one life to save the five. The action that produces the greatest overall happiness is morally right. Ulitin ko, a trolley is heading toward five people tied to the tracks. You can pull a lever to switch the trolley onto another track where only one person is tied. So, you want to save the five, the action that produces the greatest overall happiness is morally right. So, what kind of ethical theory? Deontological, utilitarian, or virtue ethics? That's number five. Okay, so ulitin ko, you're going to write your answer on the comment below and show a proof that you have watched this video by taking a screenshot. So, ang sabi ko sa GC ay isulat sa 1/4, pero isulat nyo na lang sa comment and I will give you the specific date, kailan ang deadline. Kaya, kailangan ang sagot nyo ay nasa baba sa comment 1 to 5 with your screenshot na pinanood nyo ito. Okay. And then for the activity next meeting, uh, kindly download the case study about the trolley dilemma that I posted in the GC. That will be our activity for the next meeting. So that's all for today, and God bless everyone.